Hello, everyone. This is Bruno with a new segment called 10 Minutes or Less with Bruno No BS. A very simple, casual interview. No fancy cameras here. Today, I have the honor to speak with the vice president of one of the largest roofing manufacturers in the planet, IKO Industries. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So far, so good. Tell me something. How long have you been in the roofing industry?
So I came into the roofing industry about 6.5 years ago when I started with IKO. I've been in the building products industry for about 20 years.
So you're fairly new in the roofing, right?
As far as roofers go, yes, sir.
All right. When did you realize roofing would be a career for you?
I didn't really think about career in the building industry to start with. I started as an intern with a large window manufacturer and worked my way up through that organization, and went to a large decking manufacturer and had some success there. And I actually was contacted by a recruiter for a roofing company I'd never heard of. And so I was pretty intrigued by it and did a little research on the company, and the company intrigued me. The background of the company, the history of the company, the family ownership, and I came to work for them as a regional manager out west. So I didn't grow up thinking I wanted to be a roofer in the roofing industry, just like I didn't think I wanted to be in the window and fenestration industry. And sometimes your destiny comes to you, and that's kind of what it was.
It's kind of like the things that people say, opportunities don't knock twice. You took the opportunity and you're here now to prove your success, right?
It is. One of the other things, even in the building industry that I found, when it comes to recessions and contractions in the economy, we're seeing it today. The roofing industry seems to stay strong. The people that are roofers stay roofers. It's an industry that's not susceptible. Like when I was in the window industry in the last recession, that industry took a hard cave where the roofing industry wasn't as bad. When I was actually talking to my wife and family about making a job transition, roofing was actually exciting to us at that point, because we realized it doesn't matter how bad the economy is. If your roof's leaking, you want to get it fixed.
You got that right. Can you explain to me what IKO stands for and a little bit of the history of the company?
Well, that's a great question. So a lot of people pronounce it IKO. A lot of people pronounce it IKO. We'll answer to either one. But when I talk to the family that runs the business, they call it IKO. It stands for Isidore Koshitsky Organization, which is our current president of North America, David Koshitsky's grandfather. His name was Isidore, and he came over from Poland after World War II and started the company up in Canada around 1956. And so it's been under family ownership, the same family today, and we actually have the next generation of family ownership in the business today. The fourth generation of Koshitskys is in our organization today. We're very proud of that heritage.
So which countries you currently have your products?
I think we're listed in 86 countries now. Oh. So we have a large division in Europe as well. David Koshitsky's cousin, Hartley, runs the European, and his other cousin, Joel, they run the European division. North and South America is what's run by David. I want to say 86 countries, primarily the Western European, and we actually have some plants in Eastern Europe. We do a lot of commercial and insulation in Europe. We also are into metal roofing as well, metal shingles. So the latest acquisition that affects us here in North America is Decra. It's a company that was acquired by the Koshitsky family. So that's not under the IKO portfolio, but it is in the family portfolio.
You guys are well known for the residential side, but you guys plan to have a line of commercial and bring everything that you guys, the goodies from Europe to here to the United States?
I'm sure there'll be some cross-pollination at some point. We do have a plant in Washington State that produces an asphalt commercial product line. We have one actually in Toronto area as well. So we do make rolled commercial goods, asphalt-based today. We also make polyiso insulation for built up. Today, we did announce last year we will be introducing commercial in the United States. We have a plant right outside of Baltimore, Maryland, in Hagerstown that will be opening up hopefully fairly shortly, and that will be producing a polyiso and another rolled product for the United States. It'll be a separate division, but under the IKO name.
How hard it is to separate business and family?
You know what? Over the course of my career, I've always made a special effort not to take work home. When I started off at JELD-WEN, I worked in a manufacturing plant. It was fairly easy to leave work at home, but as you get in, you start in sales, I'm in my office right now, which is in my home. It becomes difficult. You can see my door in the back here. I do make it a point that when I'm outside of this room, that work stays in the room. The only difficult part is obviously the travel part, trying to make sure I have a nice life and work balance to make sure I have time at home for the kids. It's funny, when I started at IKO, the gentleman who hired me, his name is Keith Lowe. He gave me some sage advice. He said, when you do come home, don't try to be in charge. Your wife has been managing the house without you just fine. He said, just take the time, ease back into it. Don't try to be like you're in charge, like you're at work. He said, just let her be happy and in charge, and just fall in line. That was some great advice, especially as I continue to increase my travel.
What do you see for the future of roofing industry, for the new generation, people coming up right now, young people?
Well, it is interesting to see the next generation of roofers coming in. They are much more tech savvy. I look at their go-to-market strategy, especially for residential roofers. Even the stormers, they're much more tech savvy than before. There's a lot of different programs out there from manufacturers, from third parties, such like Hail Trace for storm chasing, even for financing, all online at the click of a button, the ability to go to sell. So I see that part of it changing. You're also starting to see a product change in the market as well. You know, if you go back 20 years ago, everything was 3-tab. Laminates were the upgrade. Now laminates have become kind of the standard product. And now you're starting to see manufacturers come out with more performance-based products. So you see, like at the IKO, they introduced the Dynasty product several years ago, and then they've relaunched our IR product with the Nordic, which is an SBS modified shingle. So you're starting to see more transition to a higher performing shingle. And I think that trend's going to continue in the roofing industry. You're going to see people demand more out of it.
I totally agree with you. 15, 20 years ago, TPO was nothing. And now TPO is the #1 seller in the United States. Same thing with coatings. Silicone 5, 6 years ago, it was just, a product that no one knew about it. And now every manufacturer wants to make or private label silicone. Any messages out there for the people watching my video, my followers, people that like, to hear things about IKO industry for yourself, or it could be towards the COVID-19?
Well, let's talk. The obvious thing in the room is the COVID-19. I think the most important thing to realize for the roofing industry is this is temporary. Not being able to get into somebody's house and sell, not being able to meet face to face. It is temporary. People talk about the new norms. The roofing industry is not immune, but from a general standpoint, most of our business and most of the installations are done outdoors. So we're going to be able to continue to sell, to install, and stay busy, which is great. Keep your head up, but be safe, be smart, follow proper procedures, keep your employees safe if you're running a business. I think that's the most important thing as a safety perspective too. Outside of the COVID-19, we work in a dangerous environment. It can be dangerous. We work in elements. I see my customers, my contractors that sell IKO, they're on steep slopes, they're on steep pitches. Make sure you follow regulations, tie off, be safe. The worst thing that could happen is to have an accident on the job. It's one thing to cut yourself, break a bone, break a finger, hit your hand with a hammer. It's another thing to lose life. So always maintain that safety on the job site. That's the message I want to share.
I totally agree with you. I lost a couple of friends in the past. And life goes on, but the people that are left over there, the one that suffer the most.
Again, stay safe, everyone. It's important that we continue to have business out there together.
You got that right, brother. Thank you so much, Scott. It was a pleasure talking to you. Next time, if I'm in California, I'm definitely going to stop by and see you, shake your hands. Don't know yet if we'll be able to shake hands, but definitely we're going to grab
maybe
something.
some elbows. We'll bump some elbows. There you go.
And we're going to grab something to eat, all right?
You got it. Thank you.
You be safe out there. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.